Hi everyone, welcome back to masterexcel.net. Now, in this lesson we're going to be looking at macro security. If you want to see the text version of this lesson, you can go to the masterexcel.net website, click on Categories, Excel Tutorials, and Lesson 2, Macro Security will be in that category. Just click on it and you can see here the lesson we're going to go through today. We'll flick over to Excel. Now, VBA macros can be used as a way of delivering various kinds of viruses onto your PC. Now, Microsoft has a default security setting to help you protect against these threats. Now, to access the macro security settings, you click on the Developer tab. If you don't have the Developer tab, check out Lesson 1 and we'll show you how to add this Developer tab in. So you click on the Developer tab and click on Macro Security. Now, as you can see, we've got 4 options here. The first option is disable all macros without notification. Now, this will stop when you open an Excel workbook. If it contains macros, they will not be enabled unless the workbook is stored in one of your trusted location folders, which we'll go through later in this lesson. The second option, disable all macros with notification. This is the default and probably the recommended setting. When you open a workbook that contains macros, Excel will pop up a message saying, do you want to enable macros? And if you know the workbook is from a trusted source, you can click enable macros. But just be careful, as we say, they can be a way of delivering a virus to your PCs, so just be careful with them. The third option, disable all macros except digitally signed macros. Now, this can be a way of obtaining a digitally signed tool like VeriSign or from another provider. This could be handy if you're selling add-ins, but if you're just running macros for yourself or basic macros, then this is just hassle. And enable all macros, fourth option, not recommended. This will run as soon as you open a workbook, the macros will run, and it's just not recommended that you choose the fourth option. Now, if you do save Excel workbooks and you open them and you don't want to receive the message all the time, do you want to enable macros, then you can set up trusted locations. Now, Excel has some default trusted locations, but you can add your own. And to do this, you click on Developer tab, Macro Security, and with the 4 options here, you go to Trusted Locations, and you can see the default trusted locations here. Now, to add your own trusted location in, you just click Add New Location, click Browse, and we'll just go ahead and we'll add Excel Tutorials. We'll add that as a trusted location. Do you want to include subfolders within that folder? Check that box and you can just give it a description. And click OK. And as you can see, that's been added. So any workbook stored in that folder, Excel will now know that that is a trusted location. You know it's from, the workbook is from a good source, and it's fine to automatically run the macros when this workbook opens. Now, just a quick note on the trusted locations folder. When you're selecting a folder from here, it's not good practice to add like your default downloads folder, so that when you save an attachment of an email, for example, and it goes to a default downloads folder, it's not good to have that folder in here, because then the macro will automatically run when it's opened. Always check first and then add it to your trusted locations folder. Okay, that's just a quick look at macro security, how Excel deals with opening workbooks that contain macros. Just a quick note as well, if you're not sure if the workbook contains a macro or not, the workbook will end XLSM. So if we click File, Save As, we'll go to Master Excel sample files. Now you can see it's a macro enabled workbook. Standard workbooks will be XLSX and XLSM for macro enabled workbooks. So before you even double click on the workbook to open it, you just check what it says at the end of the workbook, the file type, and you'll know then whether or not it contains macros. Just go back. Yep. Okay, hope this was useful to you. See you in lesson 3, masterexcel.net.